I wanted to put this video up. I'm putting the second half of the prior video up afterwards. I wanted to mention the manager's name that was shot and killed at the Tenneco station, Delk Road and Bentley Drive, and the Southern Belle van that was sitting there for about 3 days, where the I was picking up on the little instrument my husband gave me, had gotten ordered, that tells you if your phone is tapped. Back then, this is 78. Anyway, the manager that got killed was named, I'm not laughing because he got killed. The van sit there, and I was tracking it. Of course, I realize now some of this was, oh wow. Anyway, uh, his name was Roger Thackett. I won't go any further. Now then, the other thing I was going to tell was that someone who is related to me, I think she really is, last Christmas, she called me here at where I'm staying, and she sent me some clothing that was very nice. But she called around here trying to find out why they were doing the things to me. And she told me she had some clout, she could do it, but then she helped as much as she could, I guess. She said they were lying about me, and I know they are. I mean, it's preposterous. God help me that it's ever told. Um, so they've done things like this, like going to Kroger this afternoon, and I really, really needed that. I've been in this room, and I don't know, I may not have it. I need a roof over my head. That's why I've stayed. But I have autoimmune disorder. I'm allergic to chemicals, which really is killing me. Staying and having to live the way I have and inhale it and run from one place to the other. However, the last 2 weeks I've been moved from one to, well, they didn't move me. I had to pull it and push it and all this down the hall from one. I guess it was time to move me or make me move down to this one. Then I had to move across the hall. Then the toilet and everything was full up and wouldn't work, supposed to work. And then um, um, then I was going to use a reward night, and come to find out they hadn't been downloaded for quite a while. So really, I only had. There's nothing funny. What can I do? I have no rights. They were supposed to have been downloaded, and then when I find out, I finally get it downloaded a day ago. I don't know. It's been Murphy's Law should have gone away a long time ago. This is total killing me and civil rights violations and everything. And everybody thinks their hands are cleaner. They would, I wonder if someone went around behind the people who have done this, the lies you would hear. And there's one instance when I was walking on my son's birthday, I believe in 85, same time the book and all that was taken out of the safety deposit box and no longer exists, I don't guess. I had my hair pulled out, went looking for a job in the hot, hot sun. And I tell you where I ended up, in a homeless shelter there. Horrible. Oh, you do not know. There was a Brit that honestly looked like a 007. And he told me, I was almost afraid to tell him. I thought, what is he doing here? He looked so, he really did look like a little bit, I guess, like Pierce Brosnan. Um, I said something about who I am. He said, I know who your father, he told me he knew who my father is and who I am. Now I'm in this horrible place and I'm shelling peas and there's flies in it, and this 007 he looked like was there, and he had to marry a woman, and I hope I'm not hurting him because this is part of what's happened. To be able to stay here and help me, and there was a young man from Britain. Well, now he's young. To me, he was probably in his 40s. Very nice. So they've been there and tried to help me. He wasn't married. He was living with, I don't believe, I'm trying to think, he was married to her. He had to do as she said to do. I've heard that much too often from Brits that were here, and they either had to marry or do as the person told them to. They had a hard time staying. People should be ashamed of it. And I'm gonna hopefully not wake people up here. My God, they've had anyway. Anyway, I had my hair pulled out in chunks on the way back from trying to find the job. It's I put that up. It's pretty horrifying. That was. So anyway, he said to me, I ended up in this homeless shelter there in Knoxville, and he said to me, I can't remember his name. But he was, well, there's no need me telling it. He married this woman so he could stay in the States and help me. And she had a daughter named Jennifer. It wasn't his. They had recently been married when I met them. So he married her, and she had been unmarried, I believe, was the thing. And what the man had to have gone through, it made me sick. To be able to stay here and try to help me. You know what he said to me? And I'm quoting from about the exact words. He said, they've all lied about you. Okay. I wanted to put up here, I don't think I did. Excuse me, I don't think I put it up. I wanted to put it up in between. I just put up a video and I'll try to put the other part up. But I'm really sick because the room being moved around and where I'm at, they use barbecue grills. They're really heavy right here, and it kind of is enclosed. There's just a portion of it that's not the way it's built, and it's in a swimming pool courtyard type thing that's kind of almost enclosed. So when everybody is using their grills, which they're doing now, the pipeline is being built through here, so they're going to be here a while. I guess about another year, they told me. But anyway, at night it really gets in here and gets to me, makes me really sick. The grilling and the stuff that you put on to cause the flames in it to burn, the fuel that you pour on it. So I get really sick. But then it's the air conditioning units that are so full of mildew and mold. So anyway, I really have gotten the last 2 weeks, I guess, where I can hardly walk. It's affected me that much, the inflammation, and it just about kills me, my lungs and everything. So I really needed what Kroger had no right, however much or little it was or more, it would have helped me. Oh, because I've got to do something now. It doesn't mean in all this, if I can somehow get out of Roanoke, that's going to be any different, because what's happening to me is just a total war against me. And of course, the United Kingdom, that has been so ripped apart. And Europe, Germany, France. By the way, I do have some friends. I guess they can't help me monetarily, but in Quebec, people think the French. That's Canada's a British. I guess it's still called Commonwealth, right? But I know that a lot of people from Quebec who are French ancestry and French were for me, are for me. In fact, there's been a few of them here. They didn't say that much, just made themselves known. And maybe somebody say, well, they were just on vacation, or they, no, they weren't. I guess my point, I've been kept penniless. I've had every law broken in the book, horror story, and to my children. And I'm afraid to put some things up. I suppose I would never put anything up if well, like this one I just put up prior, and I'm going to put the other half up, and I debated it, although I've put it up in the past, because it took place in Atlanta, and these people are powerful, and I don't want them to hurt my children. Anyway, what was I going to do? I was going to say here that I go to Kroger, and I have always seen good things about Kroger supermarkets here. And I've tried to keep, when I get a pharmacy or anything, I try to keep it in one place. I just take high blood pressure and something for the inflammation that's caused by the toxic fumes I'm inhaling, and some vitamins, and that's all I take. But I always, so I go in the store on Williamson Road. Well, once a month anyway, sometimes twice. So they very well know me. I've been doing it this store since 2006. Not There was a few months I've not gone in there, but I mean, I'm just telling you, they know me very well. And a few times I've gone to some of the other Krogers here, just a few times. I lived next to the one on Rutledge here off Williamson Road. I went there for a while because I live close by. But most of all, this one that out at Hollins, Williamson Road, is really Roanoke. And I called them and made sure it was okay to get it cash, because I go in there and I pay the few bills I can. But you have to have money to pay bills or do anything with. I'm kept penniless, just like the money that is supposed to be my husband that died, and it in my divorce papers and everything, it belonged to me. And even one of the offices here in Roanoke told me that she had my divorce. Now, they told me that divorce papers, so she knew when she signed and took the policy when he died that it was criminal, that it was mine. I can't get legal aid, which by the law should help me. No one will. So that was illegal, what Kroger did. I walked in there. I'd already called, and they said, because I don't usually have someone help me a little bit with money order, like I usually pay by. So it should have been an easy thing. I go in there, I've got state ID. I've got where I lived on me since July a year ago. It's last July a year ago, so there's no doubt. And I get all my drugs there since when? For years and years. So, my insurance, they've got all that on their computers. So there's no doubt that I come in there, that I live here, and I've frequented all the time. There's no reason other than somebody got to them and told them. Okay, when I go in, after I'd called to make sure, because I have to pay a cab, I looked, and that's a good bit to go from here to there. And I can hardly get around anymore because of the fumes and everything toxic that are so bad that I've just told about ongoing. So it's got me pretty stiff to where I can hardly walk. So I know I got to make a move somehow by the end of the month and hope and pray I can walk. And I'm telling you the truth, it's stiffened me up, my joints, the inflammation, till it's bad. So this was bad what they did to me over there. And it was kind of odd. I was up front, and someone here I'd seen it goes down for the breakfast. I thought, well, I'm going to ask them if they have a car and if I could pay them to take me over there because it wouldn't cost so much and wouldn't they'd be there to bring me back. So they did, and lucky enough, they didn't charge me. So I got over there and I talked to the young man behind the customer service. And anyway, he started fumbling and saying, well, I have a phone number I have to call here to get it okayed. He said, I can't find it. They move things around in here. He said, I'll have to go talk to my manager. So I'm hoping and praying nothing goes wrong. He comes back and he makes a phone call. He says the money's there. And he says I have to put my social security number into the machine there. I didn't question that. He had the state ID, and I told him, I said, and they all know me there, have seen me over the years. I said, I get my pharmacy back there. I've lived there. The two people that brought me, he didn't need any witnesses. He simply should have given me the money, but he didn't. And then he had me call. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Maybe I won't. Whoever the money orders. Okay, you know who does that, has the money. So he gave me a number, and I called, and I got a computer. So you can't talk to the computer. And there's people behind me, and I'm dropping my cane, and I'm not feeling good anyway from all that's going on, and it really kills me. I think people don't really, a lot of people don't care, and a lot of people don't understand what autoimmune is, and they don't, and allergic to toxic fumes, what it does to the body. It rips it apart, and this has been going on for years. They don't like to believe that it's deliberately done, and it is. Anyway, I ended up, the computer said it had been declined. They didn't give a reason. The computer doesn't have to give you a reason. There was no reason to decline it. They got to somebody. They got to the management there. The young man behind the desk. I'm going to tell you, and evidently the computer declined it. Of course, I don't know what he did or what was done prior to my coming in. I called from here. I called down there and made sure. So now I'm sitting here, and I know that I got to try to, I don't know how to make other arrangements. I don't know how, but I know I have to try to find, as I've been doing, a home. Mr. Flint. That was a long time ago in 83. Oh, I look around me and everybody seems to be living good. Turn on the TV and everybody's happy. They're eating. They have beautiful cars. They're on, let's make a deal. The price is right.